and welcome back to H&S Live. I'm your host, Katie Willcox, and we have a great show lined up for you today. We are going to be talking all about stripes with celebrity stylist Kayla Farhang, and we are going to be talking to a special 8-year-old, Gia Sabatino, about body image and what it means to be an 8-year-old and think about things like your body. We are also going to cover On the Streets with Danica Brycia to find out what is the meanest thing that anyone has ever said to you. So we have a lot of great stuff coming up, but first, I want to introduce you to someone who's very special. He is going to be representing the male perspective on all of these female issues. He's also my husband, so I want you to meet Bradford Willcox.
Hey everybody, how you doing? Okay, here's the thing. You may not always like what I have to say. I'm not gonna lie there. If you don't, just write in and I'll totally ignore it. I mean, I'll get to you, I'm kidding. We're gonna do what we call the testosterone zone here. So it's just another perspective and the other side, if you will, on any type of a subject that may have to do with body image, may have to do with relationships, may have to do with absolutely nothing, but I seem to always have an opinion about it. So I will definitely give you that, and please write in any question and I will certainly try to answer it. Hi. And we're going to have a good time. Back to Katie.
All right, guys, so we had a lot of questions from our viewers. Most of you wanted to know, how do I get started in modeling? So that's a really great question because I remember when I first had thought about it, I had no clue how to get started. So we're going to cover some basic information for you. We're going to show you what not to do, and then we're going to give you some great examples of what to do. So first off, let's start with you don't ever need to pay any money to be scouted. So for all of those advertising model search where you have to pay $20, $100, $8,000 to be seen by agents, it's all BS. You don't have to do that at all. Every professional modeling agency has open calls or they take photo submissions online. So you can research that, find their website, and there'll be a place that says become a model. You would click on that and submit photos. But the types of photos that you submit are everything. So I'm going to show you what not to do first, and then we're going to come back and we're going to show you what you do want to do. So first off, let's start with bad lighting. So this is something that's really important. When you take a picture of yourself, as the agent, we need to see what you look like. So you can't have super washed out images like this one because we don't know what the girl's face looks like, or I can't see anything with any of these photos that I would say, oh, this girl's cute or has potential. So you want to make sure the photos are really clean and clear because I haven't met you and neither has any other agent that you're submitting to. So all I have to go off of is your picture. And to be honest, usually you get the first picture you submit. If you don't see something in that because you get so many, you just move on to the next. So you want to make sure that you pick a really great shot for your first one to open. So next, we're going to be talking no cell phone selfies. Okay, girls, do not take your cell phone into the bathroom and take a picture and submit it, or an angle from above like this one. This girl's probably super cute, but I would never be able to tell because I can't see her. And nothing in a dressing room like this. You want to keep it clean and classy and professional. Another example, I can't even see what this person looks like. So you want to have your best chance, make sure it's clean, clear, it's in focus, and don't take it yourself. Next we have awkwardly sexual. This one never seems to cease to amaze us. Okay, let's take a look at this. You do not want to send in anything like this, okay? No weird outfits or costumes or feathers. No strange poses, and we really can't stress this enough. Do not send naked pictures. Nobody wants to see that. We just want to see you in jeans and a tank top, no nudity, nothing on a car, in a bikini in your driveway. All of that is just the perception of what models do, and that's definitely not what you want to do. And lastly, don't send in your take on high fashion. So take a look at these examples here. All right, so obviously you've got some glamour shots working. You've got, I don't even know what that first one was there. You don't want to take on what you think is high fashion, as you can see by these examples. They probably looked at a magazine and thought, oh, this would be cool. They're going to want to see something like this. No agent wants to see any of those things because that's not their job. Their job is to just see you clean, clear, beautiful. So what you want to do is you want to go have natural light. You want to wear jeans, tank top, and heels. You can have your hair pulled back for some, hair down for some. And you want to just have nice, simple, clean background. Not a lot of junk, not weird Christmas trees and presents and strange things like that. I'm going to show you a few examples of great Polaroids from some of our natural models. So take a look at these. This is exactly what agents want to see. Simple, pretty, classic. You have smiles, you have a few no smiles. There's a great body shot, a 3/4, a close-up. Very simple and clean. So you can look at this on our blog. We're going to post this for you after the show, so you have a better chance. If you are submitting, you want to say, hey, I want to give it my all and hopefully catch someone's eye with that one click of a picture. So hopefully you learned something from this, and we won't get any more nude pictures. Well, maybe Bradford likes those, I don't know. But
Yeah, so the Testosterone Zone.
no, don't.
But, and let me add it to something that cell phone pictures work really great, especially all the new iPhones, all of the new HTC phones. They have amazing cameras, and all you need is a white wall and sunlight right in the front. It's very, very simple. So the cleaner, the better. The more simple, the better.
Exactly. So that's what we really want. And again, on every website that you research, it's going to tell you the exact height requirement. It's always a minimum of 5'8". I know that sucks. I don't understand it, but that's definitely the industry standard. So if you're 5'2", 5'5", don't be upset if you don't get a response. It's strictly off of your height right away. That being said, there's also other size requirements, so take a look at those and find out which category would best fit you, whether it be straight size if you're more petite, or the fuller figured curvy stuff, which is the majority of most women would fall into that category. So don't be offended by the term plus size. It's just where you would fit in the industry. And then send in really wonderful Polaroids and see if you have a shot. So good luck. All right, next, we're going to be covering our H&S style with Kayla Farhang. This one's all about stripes. Let's take a look on how to wear your stripes.
Hey guys, I'm Kayla Farhang, and this is H&S Style. On today's show, we're going to be talking all about patterns. You might love them for your throw pillow and maybe on your walls, but for most women who have curves, they're definitely terrified to add them to their body because they're afraid it's going to add pounds, but that's just not true. And on today's show, I'm going to show you how.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Lang and I'm with Natural Models. I usually go for, darker colors. These days it seems like the fashion trend seems to be stripes. Stripes is in, but not for me. I don't know. I see a lot of girls wearing stripes and they're so fashionable. They're really petite. It works for them, but I just don't know how I would pull it off because I am not a petite girl. I got curves. I'm really excited what Kayla's going to put together for me because, today it seems like my day to step out of the box. We'll see what kind of stripes she puts on me and see if it works. I'm really excited though because I've never done this before.
Okay, Jen, so does the sight of all these stripes make your heart start racing?
Yeah, I don't know about that.
A little bit? Okay, well, I've pulled a couple different types of stripes for you to kind of explain how and why they can work on your body, all right?
Okay.
Breathe in and breathe out. Okay, here's the first dress. All right, so this one is so cute. I mean, Taylor Swift is wearing dresses like this all the time. Very nod to Mad Men 50s. And the reason why it works is because it goes in at your waist, and then when you put a bright belt like this, it's just highlighting the smallest part of your body, so there's no way that these stripes can make you any wider. But the reason why I don't want to put this one in you is because it has a really high neckline and you have a little broader shoulders, so I think we could do better. So I'm going to set this one down. So the second dress I pulled for you is this lovely number by Madewell. And already what I like about it more than the first one is it has a scoop neck right here. So since I said you have broader shoulders, that's going to open up your neck and your body and make you look longer and leaner. And also, right here you'll notice the stripes aren't all horizontal. These on the side go vertically. So what that does is it creates a narrow silhouette for you. So something like this could work as well.
Okay.
But it's not the one I want you to try on. This one is the one I want to try on, mostly because it kind of reminds me of your personality. Like you're a little sweet, and you're a little rock and roll, you're a little edgy, you're a little cute, and I think the mix of these two is going to be perfect for you. So are you willing to try it on?
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
There you go. There's the dressing room. Okay, so Jen told us she was terrified of horizontal stripes, but I think we could all agree that this skirt is actually pretty slimming on you. And what I love is that it has pockets for one. That's always a fun thing to kind of just play with and have. But the reason why these stripes work is because they're broken up. It's not huge, thick stripes going around the widest part of your body. And because it's different colors, it's an interesting skirt. It's not widening you at all. And plus, we have one of my favorite skirts for all body types, which is the fit and flare. It fits you at the smallest place right here, and then it flares out. So it could either cover your hips or give you hips if you don't have them. And because the skirt was so kind of sweet and cutesy with the stripes, I added this shirt that has a little detailing to kind of give it a little more rock and roll vibe, not make it quite so sweet. And then we throw on some orange patent leather shoes that I think just take this outfit to the next level. I love it. Do you?
I do.
Okay, so in today's episode, I hope that I've removed some of your fear out there of horizontal stripes. So I challenge all of you to go out there, buy some stripes, and have some fun with it. Remember, fashion shouldn't be scary. It should be fun. Right, Jen?
Right.
Thank you so much for being my model today. And I'll hope to see you guys next week. This has been H&S Style. I'm Kayla Farhang, and I'll see you next week.
Welcome back. We're here with Kayla. Thanks so much, Kayla. I learned so much about stripes because I went in my closet, I dug this out, and I was like, I'm going to prove to her I can do this right. So did I do okay?
You did good. And what I love is that between the three of us and our little friend here, we're showing 3 different ways to wear stripes. So the reason why it works on Katie is this would be the one time I would say actually don't wear stripes. If you have a shift dress, like if this was on a hanger, it would, there's no cut to it. It just goes straight down. So it just, if you had a figure, it's widened because it's all out. But because you're the fashion genius that you are, you've put on a belt, which shows where your hips are, and then you've added a jacket, a very slim cut jacket, so it creates a waist right there. And so you can see your figure. And so it's not unflattering. But if we were to take your jacket off and take the belt off,
horrible.
It's probably not horrible, but it might be a little frumpy, you know? You still think I'm sexy?
Thanks, babe.
There we go. Thank you, thank you. And so we already talked about this look, so let's talk about me for a little bit.
Let's talk about you, Kayla.
About me. The same thing as you. I have almost the exact, it's a shift dress, which means there's no waist built in. It's really just kind of cut straight down. But what the stripes are doing for me, I inherited my dad's chicken legs. Thanks, Dad. And so I don't have a lot of curves right here. So it's nice because the wide stripes down here are actually creating curves on me. But then the chevron shape here in this, it's actually creating a waist, even though the fabric doesn't.
From the sequence and the way that it's narrowed in with this visual, too.
Exactly. And this is definitely a dress you want to wear if you're on the taller side, because let's say we need to name her. If we're as short as our friend over here, it would be down to there, and it would be making your legs look short and your body look frumpy.
So if you are shorter, would this be something that you would hem, or probably not because it's such a specific piece with where the sparkles are at and everything like that?
Exactly. For something like this, I mean, this is just kind of good to know. It would be really hard to hem. However, it does kind of have this thing, so you could go like that and make it work.
For all of our short girls out there.
Exactly.
We're thinking about you.
Exactly.
Okay, great.
And that's the thing about stripes. You know, you were asking me before this started, is there any way you can't wear a stripe?
Yes.
And there's no one rule that follows everyone, because you're going to be able to wear a stripe differently than I am, different than someone who's 5'3".
Really quick, what about wide stripes versus smaller stripes? Like if you have a bigger chest, do you want to wear wide stripes across?
No, absolutely not. Like if I had, if this whole dress was the length of this stripe right here, I would just be a block and maybe look like I just got out of a really fashionable prison. But, you know, it would just be like...
I want to go to that.
Yeah, exactly. That's where we're going to send all of you to fashion jail, the girls in those Polaroids that weren't so good.
What about viewer questions? Do we have any questions on our chat room?
We do. Actually, I just received one from Jeff Ballard.
Oh, hi, Jeff.
Yes.
Hello.
This man wants to know, do these same rules apply for males? It's a good question because I'm curious myself.
All right. Well, I mean, I think we're all very familiar with the Yankees and the pinstripe. I mean, I think that's a stripe you see most often on men is a pinstripe, and it looks wonderful and classic and handsome. But I have a feeling you're probably asking about a more bold stripe like this.
Yes.
I personally, unless you're younger and you're a kid, like it turns very graphic and very young.
Like a knit, like a sweater. Like you kind of see that skater look with like the big striped
Yeah,
sweaters.
exactly. I'm thinking like black and white. But then you also, you know, I'm thinking, I think it was at the Gap the other day, and they had like a V-neck, and it was like a navy and a maroon stripe, and it was very like collegiate and preppy. So in those cases, it's okay. So I think for men, if you're gonna wear stripes, just keep it to more muted colors, like a navy and a maroon, or a, you know what I mean? Or
And you know what I hate with guys?
Tell me.
Is like when you go downtown in LA, which you're there all the time.
Yeah.
And there's this really horrible pinstripe, like pimp suits for men. Like, can we just get rid of those?
Yes,
Like, I'm not sure why anyone's making those and who's wearing them.
I'm so glad you brought that up, and we'll just say that real quick. But yes, men, if you wear a pinstripe, keep it almost so thin that you could barely see it. If someone's taking a photo of you and it reads the pinstripe, it's probably too wide, and you're probably looking like a pimp suit.
Awesome. All right, well, this is perfect because now I know exactly what to do with the rest of my stripes. If you guys have any more questions for Kayla, she's going to be here online to chat with you.
Yep.
And next, we are going to see Kayla next week.
Yep.
And we are going to show us
how to make 3 different outfits from one outfit.
It was very complicated.
I was like, are we going to the next segment or to my next one?
I don't know what we're doing.
So tune in next week. It's going to be fabulous. You're going to love it. And in the meantime, just shoot me any questions, because every week my segments are based off of your questions. So let us know.
Perfect. All right, so now we're going to go to Danica, who hit the streets today to ask some people, what is the meanest thing that anyone has ever said to you?
Hey guys, it's Danica, and I'm out here in Santa Monica on the streets, and we're talking to people about the meanest thing that anyone has ever said to them.
Saying you could feed the army on one of your jobs.
Fat, chubby, different.
And I don't let myself succeed.
Very self-centered in the past.
Little stuff where they try and break you down, like you're nothing, or you know, you'll never amount to anything. It kind of hurts right here.
People actually tease me because of my accent. Because I wasn't born here.
Where are you from?
El Salvador.
What was it? Trash?
My mom said she disowned me.
Why?
When I dropped out of college.
Back to the beach, whale. What are you doing away from the beach? Go back to the beach.
I am my own worst enemy.
It doesn't take a genius to figure it out.
You know what else? I used to coach basketball. They used to call me Fat Riley.
Fat Riley. How'd that make you feel? I won't call you that, but is your name Riley?
No.
Oh.
Matt.
My best friend at the time called me fat, and I stopped talking to her for about 2 years, and still something that I think about kind of a lot.
What do you think women...
And I got gained weight, and I'm like, oh, I gotta work out.
What is the meanest thing someone could say to you?
Now?
Yes.
Get out of my house.
Get out of my house. What if it was a stranger? And you were in their house? I don't know. What if it was the White House?
Then I'd be pretty pissed off. I voted for him twice.
He's skinny. No one said anything.
What was her name?
Brian.
4 guys, teenage guys.
Caitlin.
With my grandmother named Mike.
Oh, it was actually the kids that I coached.
The kids that you coached. Did that hurt your feelings?
Yeah, I guess it's kind of more funny than anything. It does hurt your feelings.
You gotta laugh it off, but you still take it
You
a little
laugh
bit
it
to heart.
off, but then, yeah.
Understandable.
At least they compare me to Pat Riley. Like, you know.
It just stays. You know, I work at the school, and the kids that just they don't understand. And when you call somebody fat, it's like, no, you know, it hurts their self-esteem. Well, you know how you see the magazines, like just like perfect. I didn't even know that they airbrushed it.
Oh, absolutely.
And I was like, oh, okay, now I understand why Cindy Crawford doesn't look old.
Oh, yeah. So they call me Junkie Travolta.
Junkie Travolta? What?
Like, you know, John Travolta?
Uh-huh.
And, so I used to dance. They used to call me Junkie.
Wait, show me a little bit of your dancing. Come on. Just a little like, something? What? Thanks for joining us on the streets. I'm your host, Danica, and we'll see you next week.
I love that segment. I was laughing so hard today. I think it's great because you do have to kind of just laugh at some of the mean things people say because they just try to bring you down, and that's one thing that we really try to do is you look back and you go, oh, why did I let those people affect me? So that's one thing that we're going to be doing is hitting the streets and talking to all of you wonderful people out there to have some fun. But next, we are going to be talking to 2 very special guests. We have Gia Sabatino and her beautiful daughter, Gia, who is 8 years old. thank you guys for having. Yeah, look at me. Come on, give me a high five. You nervous? You said you were nervous. Why are you nervous?
Well, I just never have been on TV live.
You haven't? This is your first show.
Well, I've been on something before, but it's like my second time on TV.
What was the first time on TV?
Well, I did a video for my parents' friend.
But you're such a ham. Like, you love being on TV. You're always dancing and singing and modeling. So you're, like, excited, right?
Kind of, yeah.
Okay, good. Good. Well, we wanted to talk to you about a few things because I was talking to your mom the other night, and she had made a comment to me that earlier that day you had said that you felt like you were fat.
Right.
Did you say that? Mm-hmm. What made you feel that way? Do you remember?
Well, it's that my dad always, like, he sees fat people and, like, he talks about them and kind of makes fun of them, and it just makes me feel like I'm one of them. Because he always does it.
That's interesting. Have you said something to him to say, that makes me feel bad? Have you ever said anything?
Well, no.
No, but you just really feel it. And then you asked your mom. And you asked her specifically why she felt that way, right?
Yeah. She was just like, oh, I don't know. I just kind of feel like that. And she didn't really explain it, so.
Right. And then when you asked what part did you say that you felt fat?
Well, I don't really remember, but
was it your belly?
Remember when I said, yeah, I was like, where are you fat? You're like, you're perfect.
Well, I don't really know, but I just feel fat because my dad always makes those jokes about them, and he sees fat people and calls them like pigs and stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Gina, so how did that make you feel? Because obviously you work with us, so we are always talking positively, saying nice things, and being very, like, body image positive. So to hear her say that, were you just like...
Yeah, I mean, we kind of discussed it briefly in the car on the way here, and I was like, have you heard me talk like that ever? And she said, no. She was like, you, what did you say, G? She was like... You always tell him not to talk like that and that your kids are in the car.
Right.
So that's it.
And you just had a new baby.
Yes, I
Congratulations.
did. Thank you.
She's like the most beautiful thing.
Thank you.
She's backstage right now. We should bring her out later.
She's being such a good girl.
Well, I wanted you guys to talk with Mia. We're welcoming Mia in here because I told her all about this, and I said, you know, I really think this is happening younger and younger for so many girls because I was at your birthday party, and you got, what did you get for your present?
Well, I got an iPad.
An iPad.
And like microphones.
Okay, so do you know what I got for my 8th birthday party? Nothing that cool. Okay, so you have access to a lot of information with your iPad, and you're 8 years old, right? So you get lots of different kinds of advertising and videos, and you listen to different music stations that have advertising and all different kinds of stuff. So I wanted to talk to Mia about this specific topic. I think there's so many mothers out there that don't know, what do I do when my daughter says this? And you know, we had talked and you were like, I don't want to give her a complex or anything like that. So I thought this was perfect to open this discussion.
It's a great opportunity, and I want to tell you something. I'm so proud of you because you're so brave to come on TV and to talk about that. And you know, there are a lot of girls at home also who experience something similar to you, and you're coming and you're representing all of these girls and be able to say, hey, you know, I felt like that, and what do I do?
And help them.
So that's a really, really big deal. I'm really, really proud of you for doing that.
Well, Mia, I wanted to start with, what is body image?
That's a great question because we use that term body image a lot. We kind of throw it out there, oh, we're supposed to have a positive body image. We want to think good about ourselves. The whole concept of body image is actually a very deep and impacting concept. And culturally, we are all in, like you made an excellent point, kids these days, younger and younger, have access to more and more information and are being exposed to more and more images and culturally kind of being programmed from a much younger age that our body image should be one particular thing.
Well, and I have to say too, like, so when you are exposed to all of that, but then maybe this is where it comes into this whole debate where I think the fashion industry will say, or the media will say, well, it's not up to us. We're not parenting your children. But I think in this case is very similar to what all of us go through, where you get these messages from the media, but then you also get people in your life, whether it be family, friends, that reinforce those messages that the media sends by the comments that they make.
Absolutely. And I think that one of the reasons why the work of HNS, Healthy is the New Skinny, is so important is exactly what we've just seen here, which is we have to address this issue multi-generationally.
Right.
We have to be talking to the parents, to the grandparents, to the kids, all at the same time, because it's generation after generation of hearing and seeing patterns of behavior that just gets ingrained one generation after the other.
And it can't just be the mothers.
No, it's not. It's not just the mother. It's got to be the whole. You know, if each individual family, let's say, as a unit, decided in their own home that they were going to approach the whole concept of body image in a certain way, that it was a conscious choice and a conscious decision about what kind of language is going to be allowed in the home, you know, what kind of things we're going to promote and support in terms of how we feel and speak about ourselves and other people, this can really begin to make a very significant shift.
Well, and I wanted to throw this to the testosterone zone for a second, because I feel like as women we're more sensitive, and especially around younger girls, the things that we say. And sometimes mothers can be the source of the problem, but I think in generally guys will say stuff and have no clue that someone like
how they're impacting us,
would ever think that. So I wanted to see what you think, Brad, about those types of things. Do you think it's more likely that guys will say those things and not think anything of it?
You know, you're right, Katie. Honestly, I think what happens a lot of times is guys, we just say kind of what comes to our head because we don't necessarily think with our heart right out of the gate. And so we may say something really insensitive or make fun of somebody, or just say something off the cuff that our friends think is funny, and it's so that they're the butt end of the joke. And in reality, if you go and you find that person, you ask them years later, they'll remember it was Brian Smith or Bradford Willcox that said something really mean to them, and it sticks with them a long, long time. Now, can you imagine being a father and saying these certain things around your children, your young daughters? They're only going to grow up to think that men think that way. And that's not a good way to think, for sure.
And I think we had talked to another guy, a father that we knew, and his daughter, you know, felt the same way. Like he would actually joke around and like pinch her something and be like, oh, and make like those jokes because he was a trainer. And so she didn't feel beautiful and this and that. And I said to him, I was like, well, do you comment about how beautiful your wife and daughter are as much as you comment how beautiful other women are?
What was the answer?
And he like looked at me and he was like, no, but I think it. And I'm like, okay, well, that's the problem is, you know, we're taking those messages of like, hey, look at that girl. She's gorgeous, or she's perfect, or she's this. And I think I remember for myself at a young age being able to recognize that I look nothing like that. Like, you're very aware. So I think I could totally relate to you, Gia. Like, when I was your age, I felt the same way with a lot of those things. But that's what we wanted to do today, is we wanted to say, okay, what can we do that's fun, that's going to work together with your mom and your dad and your little brother and your baby sister as a family to go, let's make this different. So that's what we want to talk to Mia about. We had an exercise with Mia and her daughters. Let's take a look.
And I'm working to help girls and women, and also boys and men.
I'm the builder. I'm the builder.
You're a builder? Okay, good, because I'm a builder too. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to build healthy girls. Okay? And the way that I'm trying to build healthy girls...
I'm making the door because I'm the builder.
That's cool, but now it's Mommy's turn to talk. Okay? Okay, great, thank you. So the way that I'm doing it is I'm working with some people who are part of an organization. People. And we're talking about how to teach moms and girls how to talk nicely about themselves and other people. So I have a question. What would be something that...
I have a point.
You had a point. Good job. What would be something that you could say nice about yourself?
I'm not fat, I'm not super skinny, I'm just where I need to be.
Okay, so how could you say that?
Now it's my turn.
How could you say that in 2 words?
Now it's my turn to talk. I'm perfect.
Yeah, high five. I like that one very much. You could say, I'm healthy, right? You could say,
I'm going to talk now.
What?
I'm happy with who I am.
I'm happy with who I am. Those are
I'm going
fantastic
to talk
sentences.
now.
Can you say something nice about yourself?
When Abba gives me a hug, I love him.
Oh, you like it when your Abba gives you a hug?
No
That's so nice.
question.
Okay.
Is all my points of my heart.
Points of your heart? Uh-huh.
And Emma gives me a hug.
Oh, I love giving you a hug too.
Mommy gives you a hug.
Very nice, thank
and
you.
And my sister.
Okay, so what we're going to do, because I would like to start making you guys learn how to say really nice things, not just about other people, but also really about yourself, feeling good about yourself. So I want to show something that moms can do with their kids at home so that they understand what they can do. Right, like this is our home.
Let me give you a kiss.
Thank you. I love you too. So what we're going to do is you guys are going to get a chart, and I want to know what your ideas are, how we can make a chart, and we can use stickers that every time you say something positive about yourself, or you think something positive about yourself, maybe once a day we try to do it, we say something positive about ourselves, either about our personality or about our body, some way that we can grow to say positive talk about ourselves, that we get to give ourselves a sticker.
Today is Tuesday.
Tuesday. So why don't you think of something really nice that you can say about yourself that we can record here in this spot, and then you're going to earn your sticker for the day.
I don't think I'm overweight at all. I think I'm perfect the way I am.
So you're happy with your body. Can you say something nice about yourself?
Yeah.
What can you say about yourself? What
What
can you say about your body? What do you want to say something nice about your body?
I wash my face. I wash my face.
Uh-huh. You take care of your body by washing your face?
Yes.
That's a really, really nice thing to say. Okay, so let's show everybody our charts. Oh, you already put your sticker?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you get to put your sticker because you said something really nice.
Oh, this is my sticker.
Okay, so pick a sticker and put it here. Put it right there.
Well, that was so cute. And she is such a special spirit, and that's exactly the spirit we want to protect. So we call that your sparkle. It's just that age
where lots of sparkle.
Exactly, and she still has it because she's not aware of all the other things yet. So I think that was such a great exercise to come up with a calendar or some kind of chart where you force that kind of thinking.
Absolutely. It's, you know, you have to find the places where you can do in-the-moment teaching. You know, when a child, the first moment you hear your child, girl or boy, by the way, say something like, I'm fat, I'm ugly, any kind of negative self-talk, that is the moment for teaching. That's, you know, now it's where it begins. Hopefully it's, you know, even before that, you're able to make an impact where you're preventing that kind of self-talk. But our culture, it's so heavy with negative self-talk. You know, it's a very interesting thing. If we were to say to somebody else, oh, you're fat, you're ugly, what would we call that? We would call that bullying, right? Don't you learn about bullying in school, and you shouldn't bully, and it's very bad, and it makes people feel bad? Right. But what happens when you say those things about yourself?
Yeah, we're so mean to ourselves.
We're still bullying, only we're bullying ourselves, right? Yeah. So bullying is not okay at all, not when you do it to someone else and not when you do it to yourself. So
the other thing I thought was interesting was when you asked your 9-year-old daughter what she liked about herself. You know, we hear those words fat and skinny, which is so interesting, being 9, to have that automatically be the first thing that she says. So what do you think about that and those specific words that are being used for young girls that are Gia's age and your daughter's age to describe themselves?
I think culturally that's how we speak. I think that's how we just have 2 very clear boxes, fat and skinny. And culturally we've come to accept skinny as the better box than fat.
So true.
And so when we talk about healthy is the new skinny, we're trying to reframe that entire paradigm and trying to reteach and to positively reinforce a whole new way of thinking.
That's such a good point, because, you know, if someone were to say to a teenage girl, oh my gosh, you're so healthy,
Right, they're going to be like,
she
oh my
would
gosh,
be like,
she just called me fat.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Like, what the hell? So I think that's exactly what we need to do, is have a new image to that word.
Exactly.
So that it's a positive thing.
Right.
So I think that would be really, really good. And I want to cut to Brad to say, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, you know what's important too, as I listen to this, it's you know, this certainly isn't going out to the fathers, you know, by no means. I mean, we've all, I'm sure everybody out there has at least known somebody that's had a really mean grandparent, an uncle, a teacher, a neighbor. Could be your mother, could be a brother or sister. This type of negativity and the really harsh comments and judgments can come from any place at any time. So this certainly isn't, you know, geared towards the fathers out there. Oh, treat your daughters better. You know, I think a lot of fathers obviously love their daughters very much and give them a lot of encouragement. So props to all the parents, friends, and families that do those things. That's great. This certainly just goes out to the general public and people that just think that off the cuff comments, you know, the rude ones, the harsh ones, the things about your image itself, that they certainly go noticed. They don't go unnoticed. Mine is, her name's Tanya O'Neill. Chances of her watching this are very slim. She's a bitch. And you know what I mean? And that's the way I feel about it, and probably will for the rest of my life, because she made fun of me when I was a lot younger. And I don't, no, I'm just kidding. But no, it does. It affects you, certainly.
Well, I want to come back to Gia. So you saw that video. So what they did is they made this chart, and every day before you leave the house, you have to say out loud something nice about yourself. So you have all kinds of talents. You're an artist, you love to draw, you love music, you love so many things, and you're tall, and you have all these amazing things about yourself. So is that something that you would want to do, is make this chart with your mom?
Yeah.
Did you notice how many charts were in the segment? How many people and how many charts? How many people were there? Was me and my 2 daughters, right?
Right.
And if you noticed, we made 3 charts, not just 2. Why would that be? We didn't just make it for the kids, right? So the good news is that you're not the only one who has the homework to do, right? You have to ask your mom to do it, and your sister, and your dad even, get him on board. Let's teach him a thing or two, right? And everybody has to work on that kind of learning and that kind of language. So you can be like the mom after you say your thing, like, okay, Mom, now what about you? You have to say something nice about yourself.
And remember, you have a little brother and a baby sister. So how great is it going to be that you can help your baby sister when she starts to feel this way? You can help her to feel good and happy, and that's the thing we want to talk about. So I'm so glad that you're talking about it instead of just feeling that way. Because do you feel better now that we had a chance to talk about it? And now you realize that, do you still think that you're fat, or do you realize it was just a feeling in the moment?
It was just kind of like a feeling.
A feeling, yeah. And that's good, because that's what this is all about. It's about eating healthy and working out and having support from your mom and your dad and your family and being happy, right?
Being the best version of yourself.
Yeah,
and
being
loving
the best version of yourself.
For sure.
So give me a high five.
You
You gonna make your chart? We're gonna check back in with you next week. I'm gonna check back in, and I want to see your chart. Okay? All right, I want you to watch this video, Gia. I think you'll like it. It's a model named Meg, and it was from last week on our show, and she's talking all about having a nice butt.
What's the most frustrating comment you have gotten from a modeling agent?
That in my industry, you can't have a butt and be a model. That's really frustrating for me because I got a butt and I like it. And this is my butt. And everyone. And I'm proud of it.
Meg, you were also saying that you have to clench your butt to make it look small.
Yeah, I do. When I do catalogs, when I turn around, they ask me, please, can you thrust forward for us so that my butt appears to be a couple sizes smaller. So I find that really frustrating.
We do too. And I think this is what we need. We need more girls talking about all of this stuff, whether it's you're 8 years old or you're 78 years old. We all feel the same way. And I think as a team, we can start to work together to make these changes, not just for ourselves, but for each other. And get the male perspective, because it's always needed. So I'm really glad that you guys tuned in today. We had a great show. And that's it for H&S Live on emPOWERme.tv. We'll see you next week.